5, 4, 3, 2.
As ever, welcome back. It's always a pleasure to be back with you guys watching us on Yogaxpress. It's all about moving the body to still the mind. Yogaxpress has come a long way in the last 9 years, I think almost 10 years, 9.5 years since we started taping. We've had several hundreds of episodes. We've had an amazing team, always ready to go. And right now, before we move on to our special guest, our guest teacher here, I do want to say once again, Nuriel Exelaza. Nuriel, thank you so much. Nuriel is our director today and for the last couple of tapings as well. So Nuriel, appreciate you being there for us when we really needed you. Nuriel brought a guest, Tony. So Tony, I understand, is now ready to stretch with Gina on air. So the next time you come here, Tony is going to come with his yoga mat. So Tony, you are the audience today, but you're going to be right here next time. Welcome to the studios. I'd like to thank Anna, Charles, and Eric for facilitating the studio lights, the setup, the gobo, and my wonderful turtle. I haven't forgotten Rich Spezial. So Rich, our studio manager, thank you so much for being there when we needed you. And on behalf of our whole team, we'd like to welcome once again Gina Benson. Gina, I know you have a website, you're on Instagram.
Yes.
I'm just curious, why are you not on Twitter? It's just so much easier for people to get on there.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not tech savvy. So
Okay.
yeah.
You can put pictures on Twitter.
Even Instagram and keeping up with my website, I think is the hardest part about my business. I wish that I had someone who could do the business work for me and I could just provide the services of teaching yoga and taking on Ayurvedic clients. But other than that, I'm just not tech savvy. I'm not good at marketing. I'm not good at any of that. So you can
Life is
always
tough.
you can always go to my Instagram and my website. I can't promise you it's the most aesthetically pleasing place to look at, but
Hey, you're aesthetically pleasing, so I think that
thank
should
you.
work. So how do they get you on Instagram? I know it's at the bottom of the screen right there.
Yes.
But why don't you call it out?
So the name of my business is called Yoga Veda Health and Healing, and the name of my Instagram is Yoga Veda, YOGAVEDA _NY for New York. And my website is yogavedahealth.com.
There you have it. Gina's all over the place.
Yes.
Literally, she is teaching a lot of people. You teach kids.
I do.
You've taught adults. Or you are
Yes, I
still
do
teaching
teach adults,
as
yes.
well.
That's the majority of my clients.
Right.
Yes.
So you've taught people of different age groups as
Yes,
well. What
yes.
else do you do that I haven't told my viewers about? Because I know you're not going to be able to come for the next couple of weeks, so we'd like to know more about you.
So I am also an Ayurvedic practitioner. I facilitate in chakra healing. The term is chakra healer. I don't like to call myself a healer because I can't heal people. They have to heal themselves. So
Right,
I facilitate in chakra healing. There's my.
Okay, there's your resume. That's impressive enough. So you facilitate chakra healing. You basically bring them to a state when they can heal themselves.
Yeah,
when
just
people
to
come to you.
bring people back to a state of awareness, because sometimes we have these problems. Let's say self-doubt or envy, and we're trying to figure out where this is coming from, this like emotional, it becomes a problem, right? Sometimes some people become so envious that it dictates their life and they can't accomplish anything.
Right.
So I try to help people bring awareness to that, like where it's deriving from, and then from there help them to find ways to be less envious.
Right.
So yeah, and there's a whole process for it through the chakra healing.
If you want to know more, stay in touch with her. You know how to reach Gina. Gina, that was an amazing last 2 weeks. So I'm wondering what you have planned today. Last week, I have to give you a little bit of feedback.
Yes.
Last week, I was actually quite terrified before we started.
Oh, no.
But after the workout, I thought it was pretty good.
Good.
The pace was just right. I felt good, and that's how I would judge for myself. When I come out of a class, feeling really good, not looking any better, but feeling good,
Good.
I think the whole body starts to radiate. You really feel good. So I had a lot of energy last time.
Yay.
So how are we doing today? What are we planning to do?
So today I want to focus on Tadasana and taking every pose through Tadasana. What that means is that not every pose starts from Tadasana, but there's this strength that we have in Tadasana of activating your muscles correctly. There's this proper alignment while you're in Tadasana or mountain pose, and I'll show you that in
I was gonna
a
ask
few
you,
moments so you
tell
know
them
what
what's
Tadasana
Tadasana.
is. And then from there we can take on other postures and other shapes, but through the same format of this alignment and strength that we can cultivate in Tadasana.
Okay, Tad means mountain, by the way.
Yes.
So Tadasana.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
So be firm as a mountain, strong as a mountain, but still be mobile.
Yes,
With
exactly.
Gina's
You
help.
need to be mobile because
Yeah.
we're breathing and living things,
Right.
right? If we weren't living objects, we wouldn't
I don't want to
move.
stay in one
Yeah.
spot.
Okay, so I'll have us stand.
Okay. Let's see so it doesn't get in the way.
So it'll give us a few options for our feet. Some people like the very classical way of standing, which is big toes touching and the outer edges of your feet parallel with the mat. Some people like to zip up their inner edges of their feet from their toes to their heels, and some people don't like their legs touching at all, so it feels nicer to have your feet at hips width distance.
I'm in the third category.
Yes. Well, so what's funny is that a lot of people think that this is hips width distance from the outside of your hips, but your bones are actually, we have cushion on the outside, right? We have skin, we have
So you think
muscle.
of the bone.
Yeah, so you actually want to find where the bones are, where those hip points are, is where the feet should land.
That's a good clarification. Thank
Yes.
you. Because I was
You're
thinking the
welcome.
outside.
Yeah. So I'm going to take the classical way. And I like when my feet are parallel to the outsides of the mat, so that's why I'm choosing this. And first thing we're going to do is everyone's going to lift their toes. So just lift your toes. And funny fact, but our toes are the farthest thing away from our brain. So
Right.
sometimes it's hard to tell the toes to do things. So as we get older, we notice that we, might start to trip a little more, and that's because our brain is taking a really long time to send messages to our feet.
That reminds me of the dinosaur joke. You know how the Brachiosaurus has a second brain in its butt?
Oh my god, I
The
didn't know this.
The tail is too long. It can't get instructions from the brain and the head.
Oh my goodness, I did not know this. Wow, look at all these fun facts we're learning today.
Besides yoga.
Yeah, that's amazing. So lift your toes, and if you can, spread them. So it's gonna look so funny. And then place them back down. Actually, people who walk around barefoot have really wide feet.
Yes.
You might see that in India.
Yes.
Right, Banu? You go to
Yes.
India very often.
I go there.
So
now. We walk around bare feet.
the fanned toes and the wide feet are actually very normal. And what happens is by spreading your toes that way, you feel stable. You're covering more area on the ground. That's
you feel,
why.
Yeah, you feel very grounded. That's
Yeah,
right.
absolutely. So let's do this one more time. Lift your toes. And as you lift your toes, notice what happens to the inner arch. So I'll place my foot down. I'm going to lift my toes. Do you see the inner arch lifting here?
right.
Good. So you want to keep that activated, that inner arch activated. Spread the toes, place them back down. What you'll do here, instead of pressing the kneecaps back, you're going to lift your kneecaps into your quadriceps. So you're actually, there's going to be some engagement here in your quads or in the muscles at the upper thigh. So lift the kneecap and imagine as if there's a string on the inside of your knee and it's being pulled to your hips on the outside. So from here to here. So there's this action of pulling up and out. What happens is I don't even have to give you instructions now for your back because now your legs are aligned and your spine will just follow. So stand tall in your Tadasana. You should feel so strong in this pose. The inner arches of your feet are activated. Your legs are nice and firm here. And if I come over and try to push Banu, she won't fall over. Can I try, Banu?
Now that you want me.
Okay, are you activated? Are you in your strong Tadasana? Wow, you're actually, I didn't even push you that hard, but then I realized you're actually really strong in her Tadasana. So come back to the strong Tadasana and maintain this strength. Take 3 breaths here. So this is what I mean by Tadasana, that we're in this strong pose, a strong standing pose. We're gonna come into some other poses now. Inhale, take your hands up over your head. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Now, as you forward fold, keep those kneecaps lifting. It might seem hard here, but keep the kneecaps lifting into your quadriceps. And what happens is you'll actually feel a deeper stretch in the back of your legs. Step back into downward dog. Just gonna realign my mat quickly. So we're in our downward facing dog here. And it's not Tadasana, but we still want to feel strong in our downward facing dog too. I know that a lot of hypermobile people kind of can just hang out in downward facing dog, but it's a very active pose. So keep your fingers spread, press into the finger pads, and lift your kneecaps. Lift your kneecaps towards your quadriceps again. Feel how sturdy your feet are here and your legs. Stay here for another inhale and exhale. For the fun of it, we'll roll forward into a plank. Exhale, drop your hand, drop to your knees, and then lower onto your belly.
This is my least favorite.
I know, it's not fun. But also we require a lot of strength and alignment there too.
Right.
Inhale, lift up through your chest.
Cobra. Keep the feet on the floor. I know sometimes it's so easy to do this, but just keep the feet on the floor. Exhale, release back to the mat.
Send your hips back for downward facing dog.
Take an inhale and an exhale here, and just take a stroll to the top of your mat. Hang here in Uttanasana, forward fold. And then just lift your toes here if you can. Even if the knees are bent, that's totally fine. Just lift your toes, activate those inner arches, and then come all the way up so that your legs feel really strong. You won't fall over as you come up. Take your hands over your head. Exhale your hands to heart center. Let's work on Vrikshasana, tree pose. So let's stand on our right leg first. So take the balance or the weight and place it into your right foot. Lift those toes, spread them like we would in Tadasana, place them back down. So that inner arch is activated on the foot, the leg is nice and strong. Watch as my kneecap, I don't know if you can see it here, I'll turn to the side. It's a little dark, I'm wearing black, so it's a little difficult to see, but I'm lifting the kneecap. You might even actually see it this way. I'll activate just one leg. Wrong leg. I'll activate this leg. I don't know if you can see it, but just a little bit of my muscle is growing here. It's becoming stronger. So that's on my right leg. So you take your hands to heart center in prayer. You're nice and long here, like you would be in Tadasana, but now the weight is in the right foot. Take your left tippy toes or ball of the foot to the floor. Turn the knee to the side. If you'd like to balance here on the floor, that's totally fine. If you want to challenge yourself, try to take the foot up to your shin. Avoid the knee, and if you'd like to take it a step higher, maybe catch onto your left ankle and place it on the inner right thigh, not left thigh. That would be weird, right? If you took your left foot and tried to put it on your left thigh. So keep the balance here, and as much as that right hip wants to pop out to the side, press the right inner thigh into the foot and your left foot back into your right inner thigh. There's this dual action here, and you'll feel so strong. If you'd like to take the full prostration of the pose, which is a little difficult, you can take your hands over your head. You can also take the gaze up. I was in a class the other day, and the teacher said, "Okay, now everyone close your eyes." Everyone fell over.
Yeah.
So it's really
That's
important to have that focal point, that drishti point. So find something on the wall in front of you, maybe on the screen that's not moving, and focus on that point. Stay here for another inhale and exhale. You may feel some burning in that right ankle. That ankle is working to hold you up. Take your left knee forward and then release your foot to the mat. Shake out your right leg. I know, right? Isn't that so crazy?
This leg hasn't done any work, but that's the one that hurts, right?
You know, I get a lot of people say, oh, yoga, I could totally take a yoga class. And they go to an actual yoga class and they're like, oh my God, yoga is so hard.
It is. I've had dancers come on the show, and they're so used to beautiful, flexible movements, but it's movement.
Yes.
They can't hold still.
Yeah, it's so true. So now let's put the weight into our left leg. So find that Tadasana pose nice and strong, right? Everything's coming from Tadasana, that strength, that alignment. And pick your right foot up. Take it to your shin if you'd like to. Or you could keep the foot on the floor. If balance is tricky, it's totally okay to keep your toes on the floor. If you'd like to take it a step higher, avoid the knee and take the foot to the inside of your thigh. Take your hands to heart center in prayer. And as much as that left hip wants to jut out to the side, hug it back into the center. Dual action here between the inner thigh and your foot. Maybe take the full prostration of the pose. Lift your arms over your head. If you'd like to, take the gaze up. I'm gonna fall over if I do it. Now everyone close your eyes. No, I'm just kidding. Take your hands down through heart center.
I can close my eyes because my leg is down.
Yeah, which is amazing. I mean, sometimes
No,
even
my
closing
leg
my
is
eyes
down
like
already.
this, I feel like.
I have both my legs down.
That's good. Yeah, because right? Isn't it hard to balance?
It's
Shake your left leg out.
It feels good.
Yeah. So let's do it one more time on each side, but I want to add something to it. So I'm going to make it a little extra tricky. And then I promise I'll have us back on the floor later. So come back onto your right leg. Place the weight in your right leg and come into your tree pose. Whether it's here, any variation on the floor, on the shin, or calf muscle, I should say, or on the inner thigh. And just remember that dual action of the leg and the foot pressing into each other simultaneously. So there's this strong connection here. We'll just keep our hands at heart center. Okay, from here, peel your left foot off of your right thigh and take your left knee forward. Really flex through that left foot. So keep that left foot sharply flexed. So don't point, flex. Take your hands by your side, and as you keep your foot flexed, keep the chest lifted, and stretch your left leg back behind you. We're coming into Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Keep the heart lifted, because the minute you let your heart fall, or the minute you let that foot feel heavy, you're going to fall over. So nice, strong alignment, like Tadasana. There should be a long line of energy from your left heel to the crown of your head. Nice, Banu. Hug your knee into your chest to give yourself a squeeze. And then release the foot to the mat. I know, but that was so good, Banu. So I won't be back ever again after that.
No. We need someone like you to give me a firm whack every now and then. I need to get back in shape.
You look beautiful. You're in lovely shape, Banu. Okay, now take the weight into the left side, because now we have to even it out, do the other side. Take your variation, whether it's on the floor, on your shin, or on your thigh. And just seal the leg and the foot into each other. The dual action of forces holding you up. Take your right foot off of your thigh and take your knee forward. Keep your right foot flexed. So remember, not pointed, flex, because that long line of energy is going to come from your heel to the crown of your head. Take your hands by your side. Keep your heart lifted. Send your right leg back behind you. Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Nice strong back leg. And standing leg. Your standing leg should be strong too.
That's burning.
Uh-huh. Hug your right knee into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. You're almost there. Release the foot to the floor. Shake your leg out. Nice job. That was good. Wow. Okay, so let's come on to our seat.
Who knew?
Yeah. Let's stretch those feet out. We'll send our legs out in front of us. And just shake out your legs. So flex your feet. Point them.
It just goes to show where I really need to practice more. Because that's what I find. If I find a posture really easy, then I know that, okay, I've been working on those muscle groups.
Yes.
But this one, although it felt good, felt tough, so I think I need to practice a little more there.
It's so interesting, right? We don't ever, I mean, how often do you have, you know, this work on your ankles? You're never standing on one foot. I mean, unless you're a kid. Kids stand on
all the time.
Yeah, they play all the time like that. So, you know, they're a little more resilient. It's good to strengthen the muscles in your ankle to support that joint. Okay, so actually hug your right knee into your chest.
Did you mirror?
I'm mirroring. Thanks for catching up on it. So hug your right knee into your chest. And then stamp your right foot on the outside of your left thigh if you can. Sit up tall in the inhale. If it is accessible to you, you can actually bend your left knee and come like this.
It feels easier for me to do this.
So then do that,
So
absolutely.
try that?
So you'll
Okay.
do that one, and I'll actually keep my leg out.
I find that
so
hard.
there's two variations.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I actually like to cross my leg too. Just make sure that both of your sit bones are grounded into the floor, into the mat.
Gotta be careful.
And then inhale your left arm towards the ceiling. You have two options again. Either hug your knee into your chest, or hook your elbow into the outside of your right knee.
I'll do
Take
the
your
first.
right hand behind you, place it behind your seat. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, draw your belly button towards your spine and twist. You can gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. You can take a counter pose. So you'll come over to the other side. It's okay if your seat lifts up just a little. And then come back through center. So if you had your knees bent, or if you had your bottom leg straight or bent, then repeat that for the opposite side if you can. Hug your left knee into your chest. And then stamp the left foot onto the outside of your right thigh. Inhale, sit up tall. Lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. And then hook it or hug it onto the outside or around that left knee. Take your left hand behind you, your fingertips. Sit up tall. Exhale, twist a little deeper. You can even gaze over that left shoulder if you'd like. Come back through center. Take the counter twist. It's okay if the seat comes up. And then extend both legs out in front of you.
5 minutes.
Yes, seated forward fold. Flex your feet, sit up tall as you inhale. Exhale, fold over your legs. It's okay if you stop here too. I'm sorry I didn't give the variations right away. So yeah, you can sit like this or go even further down.
Okay.
So whatever feels good, because sometimes people like try to push themselves and then they
Might
hear
hurt.
pop, and then it could be their their hamstring attachment. That's not a good thing.
While we are marinating in the forward fold,
Yes.
I have a quick question.
Yes, ask away.
When we are in the twist,
Yes.
like the one we just did, Is there a trick to going really deeper for someone still working on my six-pack?
Yes. So let's inhale and walk our hands to sit upright. So what happens is take your hands to your belly. Everyone do this. It'll be nice. Take an inhale in, and your belly should push your hands away from you as you inhale. So my hands actually expand here, and then as you exhale, see if you can get your fingertips to come back together, if not cross over one another. So draw that belly button towards your spine. Your belly gets smaller. Do this a few times. Inhale, open. Exhale, draw the belly button towards the spine. So as you exhale, you're using your diaphragm. You're pressing your belly button towards your spine and up towards your diaphragm to expel all the air from the lungs. What that actually does is it creates more space in your belly so that you can turn. Because I know that I have meat there, I have organs there, I have skin that gets in the way sometimes in twisting. Sometimes I've actually caught myself going, actually like picking it up and moving it.
That's not bad.
But yeah, if you start to activate your innermost layer of your abdominal walls, because there's 3 layers.
Right.
You have the transverse abdominis, which is your corset that wraps around from your backside. It's basically this like really big corset, and then you have your obliques, which are the side abs, and then the six-pack that you talk about. That's your rectus abdominis, and that runs from your pubis to your sternum. So as you exhale, you're really engaging all those muscles to become smaller towards each other, right? And then as you inhale, so women in pregnancy, what happens is sometimes they stretch, or people who might be, having obesity or anything like that they're actually stretching the tissues. So this forceful exhale or this engaging exhale actually closes the muscles.
That's a great tip. I'm going to practice using that tip actually, because twists are hard for me, but funny enough, I actually enjoy them.
They're great.
I really enjoy, and I think I enjoy them even more because it feels so much better when I come out of them safely.
Yes.
On behalf of our amazing team, Nuriel Exelazo, our director, Anna Charles and Eric, our facilitators, and Rich Spezial, studio manager, and our special guest out there watching us, Tony. We'd like to thank our guest teacher, Gina Benson. Gina has been with us for the last 3 weeks in a row, mostly because we asked her to, and we really enjoyed. I really enjoyed that workout. I hope you'll stay in touch with Gina. Credits are right there. YogaVidaHealth.com, on Instagram, YogaVida_NY. Gina, that felt really good. And I really like the small tips that you gave, because there are many people out there, I'm sure. I'm not a beginner necessarily.